What's up, gang? Back with another video. As y'all already know, we got a special guest. She's not new to the channel, but she is special to me and hopefully to y'all. Empress, my wife.
Hey, y'all know me, Empress Reacts. Let's get to it. As the shirt says. Hey, make sure y'all get that merch too.
Yeah, but it's not Let's Get To It on this channel right here, right now. Right, not right now, but it's Let's Get To It, always. Anyway, man, like, comment, subscribe, and watch my...
That's fine.
Alright, guys, this video is about to be a little different, man. And as you see, me and my wife, we just in there cutting up. But yeah, this video is gonna be a little different. I had one of my subscribers recently asked me about how do we budget, you know what I'm saying? That's a very, very good question. You know what I'm saying? Because like, as you already know, me and my wife, and probably soon, baby Empress, we live a good life. You know what I'm saying? We love our life. And the thing about, you know what I'm saying, love having a good life that you love, especially when it involves like doing things like on a weekly basis.
You keep talking.
Hold on, y'all. We got to check on the baby. Because baby Empress is not giving. Anyways, but, you know, living a life that we live, you know, of course, you have to have the income. And that's the first thing about budgeting. You have to have the income to budget, because everybody's budget is going to be different. Some people's budget is going to, you know, some people, I remember there was a point in time in our life where we was only able to put back $100 a month. You know what I'm saying? That's because of we wasn't making the money that we was, that we needed to make in order to like basically have a good savings. And it just growth, you know what I mean? You're gonna make mistakes, you correct the mistakes, but it's not the end of the world. And basically, when it comes to budgeting, you just gotta get your own system. Our system consists of basically we write down everything. We write down all our bills and make sure we don't exceed a certain amount monthly when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, the bills. We separate our bills like into two separate things. Like the 15th and 30th is when we pay bills. So the 16th to the 30th, we pay the bills that are due the 1st to the 15th. And the bills from the 1st and the 15th, we pay the bills that are due from the 16th to the 30th. It's been working for us for a while now. And we're able to actually see, you know what I'm saying, because mainly our salary is the same, even though my, you know what I'm saying, the moving company it fluctuates but a lot of times we make around the same amount of money every week. And some months be even busier, you know what I'm saying? Like some months I make more, you know what I'm saying, than I usually make, because it might be the peak season. And you know, as you know, the peak season is in the summer. Since summertime is over, you know, peak season is really, it's not there no more. You know what I mean? Moving has slowed up for the last 2 weeks because kids are in school, because a lot of people don't like to move when their kids are in school. Of course, they want to switch schools and, you know, place the child somewhere else. But it just all depends, man. You know what I mean? With the budgeting, man, it's just our budgeting scheme, it works just fine. You know what I mean? Like, I can use it hypothetically, like how much a person make. Like, say if a person make what?
Do easy math, round numbers.
Okay. Say a person makes $5,000 a month. Your bill should not exceed over $2,700 $2,700 a month. You want to be able to save at least $1,500 of that money. You know what I mean? And I know that the cost of living has went up. So guess what? You have to make adjustments. And sometimes them adjustments mean that you have to get a second job. You know what I mean? I've done that plenty of times. You know, this is before I started our own business. And even though we have our own business, I still just, this is not the only thing that I do. So you have to exert yourself in other avenues in order to obtain what you want. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be times like these slow months. I gotta do other things sometimes. You know what I mean? I don't have to do everything, but just me being me, I want to do other things because I want to stay busy. You know what I mean? And I want to be able to retire within the next 10 years. I'm not trying to do this forever. You know, this is not a forever job for me to be waking up every morning at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning just to go to work. No, I'm trying to retire in 10 years. In order for me to do that, guess what? I have to exert myself in my younger years so that I won't have to get up in my older years. You know what I mean? Anything you want to say, Ben?
Well, no, I mean, I think it's just important, number one, to, like, mention, of course, we came from kind of two different backgrounds when it comes to, like, money and savings, because really, Pressure is the one who really taught me how to save, because I was coming from more of a hand-to-mouth mentality, which I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to, meaning that, you know, you work and then it's like, oh, I got some money. Of course, I've always been responsible and I've always like paid my bills. Okay, your girl ain't never been laying no bills. I always paid my bills, but
the time when you was, I think it was 17 years old, they gave you your first credit card.
Oh, that's different. So credit card is different. I'm talking about like utilities and stuff like that.
She never paid that credit card bill. She maxed the credit card out and was done with it.
Yo, listen. Again, it should be illegal to give young kids credit cards. What are you gonna do as a young kid? You gonna do what? Go buy the fashions, right? Or if you're in the gaming, you're gonna buy that. In my case, I was into the fashion, so that's why I went to go buy. And I was like, oh, who cares? 7 years, I'll be old, right? I guess I'm old now, right? But, you know, with that being said, it was one of those things where, number one, sometimes it's like you want to be able to splurge because you haven't done that, but really you don't have the money to do that. And that gets people in a lot of trouble. But then also it's one of those things as well where if you've had to, what's that color purple line? Fight hard all your life. Whatever, right? You're working hard. You're like, oh, I deserve. You know, you start to get that kind of ego, like, I deserve it. But also, it's one of those things where I had to learn as well. Hey, baby, I appreciate you got some financial tips. But it's one of those things I had to learn as well, too. You know, you have to realize when what you're doing isn't making the money that you need to be able to do what you want to do. You know, not only what you need to do, but what you want to do. So then from there, you know, it's on you as a person to find out whatever it is that you need to do to make more money. Whether that is taking on an additional job or if it's more so of you just getting a whole new job together. Or, you know, people call them side hustles. I never myself like that word, like a side hustle, because anything that I've ever done, I'm going to stand over to my husband too, we've ever done, I've always been passionate about it. So it's never been like, oh, I'm going to make like a quick money. You know what I mean? It's more so I'm doing the research. I am making sure that, you know, whatever we're doing is going to be viable. And not only that, like with YouTube, is more of those things where, like, I have to enjoy what I'm doing as well, because you're going to spend a lot of long hours doing whatever it is you're doing. Say if you're at that stage and you are trying to find that balance of, you know, oh, I want to buy stuff, but I want to save. It's one of those things where you just start small. You know, like, just start small. Start saying, okay, I'm going to put back $20 out of my check every time I get paid. And then from there, once you start seeing your savings build, you're not going to want to touch that money.
I'm going to add this too. You know, something that I do on the side, you know what I mean, other than, of course, the moving company, is I like to detail cars. You know what I'm saying? I detail cars on my days off. And you might seen in some of my shorts, my shorts have like basically like some of the cars, like my car or her car, and some of the previous cars we've owned is at a dealership. This particular dealership it's not my uncle's dealership, but it's a dealership where my uncle has a contract with. So my uncle got a contract with this dealership that he's responsible for detailing all their cars, sold cars, the used cars, cars that's still on the lot. You know, he's responsible for doing all that. You know what I mean? And I detail cars. You know what I'm saying? On my days off, and yeah, I might make $150, $200 that day. But if you count up that, okay, I might have 2-3 days off during my week. 2 of them days I'm detailing cars. That's $300 to $400 per week extra. So if you add that up times 4, that's $1,200 to $1,600 per month extra. That's either money you can either put in your savings, or if you already have money that coming out your check that's going to your savings, that's money you can spend, you know what I'm saying, on you and your significant other, or just you if you by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make amends of like what you're trying to do in your life. You have to make the adjustments of what you're trying to do in life, because if you don't, you're gonna sink. You're gonna sink very fast, you know. And also something that me and my wife has done, we've written 4 books. We're still getting royalties off these books every month. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Ambition Beyond the Streets.
Part 1, part 2, part 3. And my favorite of all those is the 4th book. The 4th book we wrote was God Sent an Angel by J.D. Walton. But yeah, that's my favorite. My favorite book out of all of it is God Sent an Angel. I want to one day make a movie out of it. I know we can do it. If me and my wife would put our minds to it, I know we can do it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. You can't limit your mind or just say, you know, sometimes Satan get in your mind and be like, oh, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you can't do that. You know what I mean? But you gotta, you know, just see it, man. Like, man, look, man, I can't do this. You know what I mean? And just take a leap of faith and be like, look, boom. That's how it was when we started our business. We just took a leap of faith. Everything we ever done, we just took a leap of faith and was like, you know what? We're gonna do this. And guess what? We did it. You know what I mean? And with this last book, God Sent an Angel, it's about a man who loses his wife during childbirth, and he's left to raise his daughter by himself. His wife was a believer, and he really wasn't too much of a churchgoer. He wasn't too much of a believer. He just went with the flow, you know, because he loved his wife. And he's left to raise his child by himself and find his way back to Jesus, find his way back to God. You know what I mean? And the book is amazing, man. Like, y'all gotta go check it out. But that's another thing that we have, that another way we can make money. You know what I'm saying? And we need to be working on our 5th book, but we've just been so busy, you know what I'm saying, with Empress and just being new parents, man. It's
Wow, wow.
Yeah, it's wild. Look, it's an experience. It's a journey, man.
I'm out here making bottles. Crazy.
Yeah, she's making Empress a bottle right now because Empress getting very hangry like her daddy. New parenting is a new journey, and y'all might have y'all comments about this, man. Look, man, I think we are one and done. You know what I'm saying? Because parenting is hard, especially when you want to be actively involved in your child's life. And we're getting older. You know what I'm saying? I don't see us having a child just back to back. That's not going to happen, because for one, you have to understand, Empress is still a child. She's still a baby. So with her being just a baby, you have to realize that, you know, if we was to have another baby, we would basically force Empress to grow up too fast. And her growing up too fast can be detrimental, because at the end of the day, she's still a baby herself. So we're gonna be holding this baby, feeding this baby, while we telling Empress, hold on, baby, we're gonna get right back to you in a minute, because this baby needs more attention. And, you know what I'm saying? It can be detrimental to the child, and I'm not trying to go through that. You know what I mean? I love my child, I love my baby. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to, I don't know. I don't think I'm ready for another child. I don't think I'm gonna have another child. You know what I mean? It's just not gonna happen. But with all that being said, man, you know, the most important thing about everything, man, don't be afraid to work, man. I know it gets tiring. I know it gets frustrating, but guess what? It's only for a season. And if y'all if you have a significant other or if you're by yourself, there should be no excuse. No excuse at all. You just need to be just grinding and getting to it. But if you have a significant other, man, put y'all brains together, man, and come up with something that y'all inspire, that y'all love to do. Because if you don't do that, then and you just feel like you want to jump into something that you're not passionate about, guess what? You're not going to want to do it. You're gonna be regretting every day you're going to do this job or going to do something. Do whatever it is, you're gonna regret it, and that's what you don't want. You want to be passionate about whatever you do. You know what I mean? Like I can tell you right now, I'm not passionate about moving company, but guess what? I'm passionate about my wife and my child, and it feeds my wife and my child. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna be passionate about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know this is my responsibility. You know what I mean? As a man, and as a father, as a husband, but anything you have on the side, you got to be passionate about it, because at the end of the day, you're not gonna be want to put in that extra work to be tired every day to do something that you don't like doing. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna want to do that. So, anything?
Well, no, I mean, I think it's what it all boils down to. And again, like we've all done jobs that like we didn't like, or like those thankless jobs or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things. I know we live in an entrepreneurial culture as well, and I do get it. Entrepreneurship is not meant for everybody because it takes a lot of responsibility, time, research. Also, it takes a lot of prayer, really, when starting a business, because it's one of those things, like my husband mentioned earlier, you're going out on a leap of faith. Before you even start the business, what people don't realize how much you have to put into the process to get the business started up, right? And that's like phase one. Then phase two is actually the train is in motion and keeping that train running. So yeah, but again, it's so rewarding though once you look back and see what you've been able to accomplish. And then not only that, for me, one part I love about the movie business, of course, I don't do no physical labor, but I do love the overall like bigger picture. It's kind of like when I got on YouTube and I realized like, whoa, my community, like it's bigger than me. And like when we're moving these customers, it's like you don't know what they're going through.
Sometimes we helping people that, man, listen, God send to so many people. You know what I mean? It's remarkable. And that's what gets me to, like, every time we get a new review on Google, you know what I'm saying? That's what drives me to keep going. Or, you know what I'm saying? Because people are appreciative of, like, what we do for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've done moves in the past where we actually did it for free. You know what I'm saying? Just on the scrim because the person was going through some stuff. And you got to always give back, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if you want to get blessed or anything like that, man, you have to give back. It just, because God ain't finna bless you and you just gonna be just stingy or just being self-centered, man. You have to give back, man. You're gonna have people in your life. Majority is gonna be family. Whenever you attempt to take your leap of faith and just say that whatever you attempt to do, it pops. You know what I'm saying? Like it flourishes. You have to realize there's gonna be people in your life, friends, family, and majority is gonna be family. And it's gonna be a lot of your friends, people who you would never expected. They are gonna come to you first. They're gonna come to you, you know what I'm saying, all happy, joyful, you know what I mean? And they're gonna be like, how, bro? How you do this? How you do this? You tell them how you do it, they're gonna be like, oh, no, I ain't trying to do all that. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna want it the easy way, and they're gonna play on your heart for you to, for you to give stuff to them. And it's gonna be up to you to be like, no, I advise you to say no, unless this individual like really, really need it. But give them a job opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Give them a way, you know what I'm saying, that help you. You know what I'm saying? If they really want it, they'll work for it. You know what I'm saying? And I believe, in my experiences, this is just God's way to isolate you from everybody else, because he's trying to talk to you, because he's giving you this. He's giving you the desires of your heart so that he can have a relationship with you on a one-on-one basis, because you might have been neglecting him in the past, or been neglecting him, you know what I'm saying, period. And he's trying to isolate you from the people who don't have the best intentions for you, but steady have their hands out. But he's showing you, like, listen, this is all these folks care about. I care about our relationship. I don't care about the materialistic things. I would give you that. You know what I'm saying? I would give you that. But I just want you to have a relationship with me. You know what I'm saying? I want us to have a covenant. I want us to rebuild this covenant. You know what I mean? And, you know, God has a way of speaking to us. And sometimes he tell you no. Sometimes he say not the right time. So, but you just got to be willing to just take the leap of faith and see what he's talking about. You know what I mean? And hear him out sometimes, man. I mean, when it comes to budgeting, man, you just got to be smart. And don't let your wants outweigh your needs. And prioritize everything, man. Yeah. And especially when you have a family.
Especially when I get that little baby, like the little baby be needing study. Like,
look,
I want to buy this little cute little outfit.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I sacrificed. I had a Challenger. My wife would tell you, I had a Challenger, 2021 Challenger, man. I love that car. Wide body, scat. I probably had invested like $6,000-7,000 in a car, and I had already had a plan to do more to it, but I made a sacrifice. I got rid of it for.
And I was shocked, y'all. Like, whoa,
my baby.
You giving up the Challenger?
I did it. You know what I'm saying? It's just priorities, man. You know what I mean? When you have responsibilities as a man, you have to do the right thing. 21 Savage said the realest thing, man. One of the realest things I ever heard a man say. He said, man, don't be too gangster, man, to get a job, man. He said, when everything else fails and you ain't got no money in your pocket, don't be too gangster to get a job, man. He said, man, that's some lame stuff, man. Like, man, get up and get a job, man. Fill out an application, man, and feed your family, man. And on that note, man, keep God first, family second, and then cars, man.
Hope everybody's out there feeling good, staying safe. And y'all know where to find me, Empress Reacts. Let's get to it.
Peace.